Hello, Tech 2. This is your last lecture and assignment. It is the Wednesday of spring break. I didn't want to send it to you sooner because I didn't want you to do it over spring break. So, what I'd like to cover is the room finish schedule and plan. So, let me slide it over. So, the two drawings that we're concerned with in this lecture excuse me, are the interior finish schedule and really this. Um, we could, for the assignment, we could put the finish notes on, but we don't have to worry about the finish symbol legend unless you're feeling so inclined. Okay, so I have a very simple model that's going to discuss sort of how to do this. Now, for your assignment, I just want you to focus on the entry, the living room, and the kitchen. Don't worry about the pantry and the bathroom or the porch. Now, you might have to delete. No, actually, just leave those room names in there if you have them in there. I should mention, I know that our bathroom has like nothing in it, and also the pantry and things and the stairs, but you can draw the stairs in, or you can attempt to model them if you want. I would have shown you that if we had time. But you can just draw these in with detail lines on each of your plans. So you could do it on one, and then you could copy them and then paste them aligned to another view. And I can review that if necessary. Okay, so here's what we need to do. We need to create this sort of elaborate interior finish schedule. That's one thing. And then we also need to be able to call out the materials on the different parts of, say, these rooms. So if I look at the entry room here, this room the floor is porcelain tile 1, and it looks like all the walls are P2. That's the paint finish. So that would be this one, most likely this one, and this one, but not this one. Okay. Then we have the hardwood in here. And then we have to call out all of these different. So this is all P2 to here. Then it's porcelain tile to here. So how the heck do we differentiate all that? So I have a very simple model, and let's talk about it. Okay, so here it is. I've got a really bizarre little building where the vestibule is like way over proportioned, but that's okay. So what I have here is a vestibule, an office 1 and office 2. That's what I called it. So look at that. Vestibule, office 1, office 2. All right, now let me look at the 3D model. Now I'm looking down here. I have a floor here, and this is ceramic tile wood joist. So this is a ceramic tile floor. And this one, why don't we change to a, I'm just going to put generic 12. Did I do that? Okay, which is what it was if it wasn't. And we'll set this one up as we see fit. Now, what I could do first off is differentiate the floors in each of the rooms. So I have one floor here, one floor here. I could just as well go to this floor, do edit boundary, and get rid of all of this over here. In fact, I'm just going to do it this way, because this one's not as complicated. Let me clean this up. So remember, with floors, you need to have one continuous shape. So I'll hit the green check there. So now I have a floor there. Now I'm going to do a floor over here. So I'm going to go floor, architecture floor. I'll do the same generic 12. And I will just draw a rectangle shape right there, and hit the green check. And now I've got a floor here. So these are technically the same right now, but we will figure this out. Okay. So first things first, why don't we set the different floor materials? So if I go into, let's get to it, I might have to flip it up. This floor and hit edit type. Okay, so this is a wood joist, 10-inch wood joist ceramic tile floor. Now I'm going to go to the structure and let's look. The topmost layer is a tile mosaic gray material. I'm going to click on that. Here it is, tile mosaic gray. I'm going to go under identity and let's give this tile a in its description here some sort of value similar to what we see on this. So I'm going to go to, I'll call it PT2, okay? Because there's a porcelain tile on here. I just want to do something similar to what you're doing. So under description, I'm just going to put PT2. I'm going to leave the name as is. I'm going to hit OK. Okay, I'll just hit OK. And I'll hit OK one more time. Now, I'm going to grab this floor out here. I'm going to do edit type. Let's duplicate this and let's call it office 1 floor. Okay. Now for structure, I'm going to go in here. Okay, now this has got a foot of structure. It's a generic thing. It's just a foot of clay, right? So let's turn this to 11 inches. Okay, and let's put a new layer in here. So I'm going to say insert. I hit insert. So I had, let me undo that. All right, I had this row selected. I'm going to click insert, puts one right above it. I'm going to move it up. And then I'm going to click in here and I'm going to call it finish 1. And let's go into our materials and let's call this wood stained. Let's see what's going on here. Yep. Okay. It's missing that image for it, but that's okay. Let's call it wood stained. Under identity, let's call this HDW1. Okay. And I'm going to give this a thickness of 1 inch. I know that's sort of excessive, but we're sticking to the 12 inches. I'm not changing the overall dimension. I'm just taking 1 inch from my structure and I'm giving it to the finish of 1 inch of wood floor. I'm gonna hit OK and hit OK. So there it is right there. Now I'm gonna double check this. So this one was called HDW1. So I'm gonna go back and change that. I'm gonna go back into my floor, back into that material, back into the identity of that material, HDW space 1. I'm HDW1 just like you have. And I'll hit OK and OK and OK. Okay. So this is our level 1 floor plan. Okay. So what I'm going to do is duplicate it. I'm going to say duplicate view with detailing. And I'm going to rename it room finish schedule. Oops, sorry. Not schedule. We're not there yet. Room finish plan. Okay, let's see what it's called in this drawing. First level interior finish plan. So you could call it interior 1 in level 1 interior finish plan. Okay, so this isn't the same as this view, which I'm going to rename right now just to help me. Level 1 floor plan. No. Okay. So level 1 floor plan will have things on it that the interior finish plan doesn't, and vice versa. I don't want to put everything on the floor plan. I want to make a special interior floor plan. Sorry about the cough. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tag the wood floor in here. Okay, so I'm going to go up to annotate, material tag, and I'm going to click right on the floor and give this thing sort of something like that. And I'll do the same here. Porcelain tile too, right? We just made that. Okay, I'll hit escape. Now you can move this around and get this to look how you want. Okay, and now just for the sake of keeping a short video, I'll just change this floor. Oh, what the heck? Let's just make another new one. Um, Actually, I'll grab this one since I sort of have it set up. Edit type, duplicate, and I'll call this Office 2 floor. Okay, I'm going to go into here and let's just change the material to something else. Earth. No, let's not do that. How about a carpet? Is there a carpet there? We'll call it carpet. For identity, instead of interior finish, I'm just going to call this CPT1 or whatever I want to call it. So if I go on here, what did CPT1? Okay, so yay for me. I guess the right one. Now this one changed, but excuse me, I'll change that back to Office 1 floor, and then I will change this one to Office 2 floor. There we go. Then I can go to my interior finish plan and I can use my material tag on this, and it looks like it's not doing what I want. It just says interior finish. Maybe I didn't save it, so let's go take a look. There we go. Carpet 1. Identity. I must have not saved it here, so I'm gonna do CPT1. Hit OK, OK. Boy, it just doesn't want to change. All right, let's see what's going on here. I don't like how that looks. There, let's delete it. I'm gonna go annotate material tag. Okay, we're still not getting what we want, so let me see what the dealio is. Hmm. How about this? Why don't we pick a new one? We're crazy. Oh, let's just do vinyl composition tile, and I'll just call it VCT1. See if this one works. Vinyl composition tile. Okay. Oh, that's a beautiful office right there. And now we're getting VCT1. Not quite sure why that one wouldn't change for that carpet. But we should probably figure that out. But either way, I could technically use, if I needed to turn this one into a carpet one, I'm going to select this floor here. Okay. And I will go edit type. Let's go into those materials again. So I could duplicate this material and just get rid of the pattern on the front and make it look like something else. Just make and use this basic material here, duplicate it and create one from it, make a carpet one. So in which case I would just change the name here, change the description. Under graphics, I would just change the foreground pattern or put nothing here. And then for appearance, it's looking for an image, but don't worry about that. You can just assign a color to it here. Okay, so that handles how you tag the floor. So basically, what that did was handle this PT2, HW1, HW1. Now, keep in mind your what do you call it? Your tags aren't going to look exactly like this on here, and that's fine. So floor tags we covered. Now there's some other tags on here that are material tags for the furniture, like the countertop, and the same rules apply. So there's a material attached to this countertop, and you can change its description, and then you can tag it just like everything else. Okay, so that's floor. Now, let's talk about walls. Okay, so for example, right here, I have wall covering 1, but then it switches to paint 2 on this wall, paint 2 to here, and then it's porcelain tile 1 to here. Everything around this is uh, paint 2, and everything around here is paint 2, like all the way back to here. Okay, we're not going to worry about these for right now. Okay, so how do we get paint colors in and wall coverings and things like that? Exactly the same way. So let's make a P2 material. So I'm going to go to manage materials, and I'm just going to make a new material. Now you could do this with the flooring too. I'm going to call it I'm going to call it paint 2, and for description I'll call it P2. Graphics, you could give it a color if you want. I'm not going to worry about that right now. And now I'm just going to hit OK. So I've made a paint color. It's not assigned to anything. So let's say we want that paint color to be on this wall on the inside and this wall to here. Then I want to switch to something else. How the heck do we do that? Let's do this one first. So I'm going to grab this wall. It's a generic 12-inch wall. I'm going to edit the type, and I'm going to duplicate it, and I'll just call this PT2 wall. Let's do that. 12-inch handles whining. All right, now I'll go to structure. It's a 12-inch wall. Let's change it to 11 inches. And on the interior side, let's go insert. Let's move it down. Let's change this to finish layer 2. And let's give this a material of paint 2. Okay, and let's give it a 1-inch thickness. Okay, I'm going to hit OK. Okay, I made a new wall that has 1 inch of it is this paint type. Now, obviously, paint wouldn't be 1 inch thick, but we can use that. That's fine. So I'm going to pause this to tend to the beast. Okay, and we're back. Okay, so I have a new wall type. So I'm going to grab this wall right here. It already transferred over to PT2. Oops, I accidentally extended it. PT2 wall. Now I can zoom in and turn on fine detail, and then turn on my thin lines so I can see that 1 inch is really in on that inside. Now I can grab this wall, and I'm going to change it as well to that PT2. I know that this is going to be different over here, but we got this wall in. All right, now I'm just going to go to annotate, material tag. Now if I zoom over on this wall, if I click to the first layer, it gives me that PT2. Okay. Now, if I click on the next layer that we didn't assign any material to, just a question mark, but we don't care about that because it's all finishes anyway. So let me do this one. Bring that down. That looks good. Now, what the heck do we do here? All right, I'm going to grab this wall. I'm going to go edit type. And I am going to duplicate it. And let's give it a new, let's call it PT3. Or you could call it WC1, wall covering wall, 12 inch. So this can be our wall covering one. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to go to edit type. I'm going to go into my materials for there. So paint 2. I'm going to duplicate that material and I'll call it wall WC1 for wall covering 1. Whoa, there it is, wall covering 1. I'll go to identity and make sure that this changes to WC1. And I'll hit OK. And I'll hit OK. And I'll hit OK. Dear Lord. Okay, so now you can see this change to wall covering 1, but I want this still to be the other one. So I'm going to change this wall back. Okay, now I'm going to split this wall right here. So I'm going to go to modify, split. I'm going to put a little cut right there. Okay, looks like nothing happened, but now this is a separate wall and I can change it to this one. And then I can do a material tag on that wall. Okay, so that's how we differentiate between how the wall changes from something to something else. So that would be the situation on your plan from here to here. Everything else could just be PT2 wall all in here. Now this one, you're going to have to make sure that you have a PT2 on both sides of the wall. I think the important thing to remember is to keep your wall thickness exactly what you have it. So if this wall, excuse me, is 5 inches, you could put a layer on one side that's 1 inch and a layer on another side that's 1 inch, and the layer in the middle can be 3 inches. Because we want to tag PT2 on this side, PT2 on that side too. If you did it just on one side, then you would only have one paint layer and the other side would be that question mark. So this wall would be a different wall, which it already is, to do the WC1. Okay, so that handles floors and walls. Now for these little guys here, you can use filled regions for that. So just make a little triangle, fill it in with a black color, and then you can mirror it over the line and that would look really good. Okay, so give that a whirl. All right, now I'm going to stop this video because it's getting too long. And in the next video, I'll show you how to do this. How do we make this whole thing?